In this mini lesson, I'm going to show you how to use dimensional analysis to convert one measurement, 1,200 ounces, into another measurement using tons. Dimensional analysis uses multiplication and a fancy form of 1 to convert any measurement into an equivalent measurement with different units. All right, one of the first things I like to think about with this is I know I have to start at ounces and end up with tons. So how am I going to get there using the equivalent measurements that I know about? And for this case, I know I'm going to have to go through pounds. And that's the abbreviation for pounds. So I have ounces, I'll go to pounds first, and then I'll go to tons. All right, so what kind of equivalent measurements do I have to create my conversion factors, my fancy forms of 1? Well, one thing is that I know 16 ounces, and OZ is the abbreviation for that, is the same as 1 pound. 1 lb, pound. I also know that 2,000 pounds is the same as 1 ton. All right, so these are both equal things. All right, let's start with what I have. We're going to start with 1,200 ounces OZs. I'm just going to make that a fraction over 1. All right, to first go from ounces to pounds, I'm going to use this equivalent measurement. So I'm going to multiply by that fancy form of 1. Now the thought is, what do I put in my denominator and what do I put in my numerator? Since I want to divide out ounces, I'm going to have my ounces in the denominator, leaving my 1 pound in the numerator. Okay, let's now go from pounds to tons. I'll use this equivalent measurement for that. Multiplying again by a fancy form of 1. I want my pounds to divide out now, so I'm going to put pounds in the denominator. 2,000 pounds with 1 ton in the numerator. All right, let's see what happened with our units. Ounces divide out. Notice it's just the units I'm dividing out, not with the numbers. Pounds divide out, and I'm left with what I want, tons. Let's put that multiplication together now. We have 1,200 times 1 times 1. You don't really need to put those there, but I'm just being thorough here. 1 times 16 times 2,000. And my final unit is going to be tons. As a next step, I'm going to go ahead and pull out a mechanical calculator and do this calculation. In the numerator, of course, I don't need a mechanical calculator for that. 1,200. The denominator, 32,000. Again, this is tons. I'm going to divide both my numerator and denominator by 100, which will give me 12 over 320. And when I do that final division, 0.0375 tons. And that should feel good. We're just taking in ounces and turning that into tons, which is a really, there are 2,000 pounds in a ton, so we should expect to get this smaller decimal number, so that feels reasonable. All right, so we just used dimensional analysis to take 1,200 ounces and express it as a number of tons. Same thing we measured, but just different measurements, different units.